welcome to Riff of the Week number 3. I do apologize. I did not get Riff of the Week out last week. I had the flu and I had a headache for like 5 days and I wasn't sleeping and I felt really horrible. But I did write some decent music over the course of the last couple of days, and I've been working a lot on the Steal My Riffs website. So I actually just uploaded the 201st riff. Now, all that's behind the scenes, and those aren't all finished. Those sometimes are just little voice memos along with the key and tempo and stuff like that. Sometimes they're proper recordings, but I'm working on getting all of those to be proper recordings with sheet music, tablature, MIDI, samples, all that jazz. So that is a very time-consuming process, as you can imagine. It takes a while to do that with 201 riffs. I have probably about 250 to 300 in the back catalog, and I'm writing 1 or 2 or more a day, so it's a lot of work. But anyways, we're gonna just work on one today. So this is actually a 2-part riff, or a 2-guitar harmony riff. It's kind of a classical-ish sort of thing. It's in the E major tuning, so that's E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. It is from Little Martha by the Allman Brothers. Right? Yeah, and it's very simple actually. So I think this one's gonna be easy for people to learn and use in their own music, but you could also sample the guitar parts, loop them and use them in some production, or there's also MIDI files that sync up with the guitar. So you could take that and make it play on a piano or whatever the heck you wanna do. Just credit me as a songwriter. And anyway, so the riff's really easy. I'm gonna play through it in just a moment. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about the writing process of this riff, because it starts out really simple. Just playing the open strings, right, in that E major tuning, so that's just playing an E major arpeggio, basically. And then I just start, the way that I write I just play random stuff. So I'm sitting there, okay, I'm like, okay, I want another chord, and I just start playing random, completely random stuff until I stumbled across. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Right, so that's basically the progression. And it's a 2-part thing. So there's 2 guitars playing on top of each other, and they play slightly different chords at different times. And that actually came around completely by mistake. I was going through recording into the 4th chord, which is this, right? And I accidentally was a string set up and a little bit screwed up, and so I played this, and it sounds cool over that, so there's a harmony there. And the other one, I was looping from the end back into the 2nd chord, and I just screwed up, and I played it one too many times, and so I looped, or layered that over top of that, and that sounds pretty cool. And I guess the reason I'm saying that is I've been getting some questions about how I go about writing music and stuff, and it's really, I think, interesting because I don't know what I'm doing at all, and everything I do is random and by mistake pretty much. So if I find that that chord sounds cool going into that chord, it's only because I tried that and 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 that, and then I did that, and it was like, oh, that's cool. And if I found that, this sounds really cool with that played on top, it's literally because I made a mistake and I accidentally did that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And that's just kind of how music happens. Anyway, so here is the riff playthrough. So if you head over to stealmyriffs.com, sign up for the Riff of the Week newsletter, and I will send you a link to access all those materials. So that's some videos, tablature, MIDI, sheet music, samples, all that stuff. And I will send you new stuff every Saturday, as long as I don't get the flu again. All right, so that is a wrap on Riff of the Week number 3. I'll see you next week.